Around 6 p.m. on May 9th, a resident was walking through a wooded area at the end of Saddlestone Drive in the Durban Crossing neighborhood, a collection of pristine and expensive houses hugging freshwater ponds just south of Jacksonville, Florida. Upon reaching a retention pond, the neighbor discovered the body of a young girl, mangled and horribly disfigured. She had been stabbed an astonishing 114 times. Many of the wounds appeared to be self-defense wounds, as the young girl fought for her life against her attacker. Around 8 p.m., it was confirmed that the body was Tristyn Bailey. This is Depraved Heart. We want to remind you that this is a sensitive topic, and we approach it with the utmost respect for all those involved. Our goal is to shed light on the facts and foster an informed discussion about a very serious matter. So, grab a seat, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into the details of the Aiden Fucci case. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive in, and don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss any of our in-depth analyses and updates. Let's get started. Tristyn Bailey was a bright, promising 13-year-old student with a loving family and a vibrant social life. Aiden Fucci, also 14, was a classmate who lived just a short distance away. The two had known each other for years, their paths crossing frequently in the small town of Durban Crossing. Family and friends describe her as an energetic young girl who always stood up for her friends. Her mother said, "She was just a powerful child that was able to give a lot to so many." Tristyn grew up and lived in St. Johns County, Florida. She was in 7th grade at Patriot Oaks Academy, where she stood out as a popular student and cheerleader. In the days leading up to the tragic events, Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey had interacted several times. They were part of the same social circles, attending the same school and community events. On May 9th, 2021, Fucci invited Bailey to meet him in the woods near their neighborhood, a place familiar to both, but one that would become the setting for unimaginable horror. On that fateful night, Fucci and Bailey set out for the wooded area. According to investigators, Fucci had planned this meeting under false pretenses, luring Bailey. On that fateful night, Fucci and Bailey set out for the wooded area. According to investigators, Fucci had planned this meeting under false pretenses, luring Bailey with the promise of hanging out or talking, common innocent activities among friends. However, Fucci had sinister intentions that would soon come to light. At 9 a.m. May 9th, 2021, as the Bailey family was preparing to celebrate Mother's Day, one of Bailey's siblings went to her room to wake her up and discovered that Bailey was missing. After a short search of the immediate surrounding area, her mother, Stacy, called 911 to report her daughter missing. Early that morning, according to police reports, a friend of Fucci said that Fucci had asked him for Bailey's phone number. Fucci called Bailey and convinced her to leave home to go see a friend. At 1:45 a.m., a residential surveillance camera recorded two people walking east on Saddlestone Drive, strongly believed to be Fucci and Bailey. At 3:27 a.m., the camera recorded a subject running towards the west, carrying a pair of white shoes. What followed was a brutal and horrifying act. In the early hours of May 10th, 2021, Tristyn Bailey was found dead, her body discovered by law enforcement after a search that had gripped the community. The investigation revealed that Bailey had been stabbed multiple times by Fucci, who had carried out the attack in the very woods where they had met. The sheer brutality of the attack shocked the community and drew national attention. The investigation quickly zeroed in on Fucci after a disturbing piece of evidence came to light. A Snapchat photo Fucci had posted that showed him with a big smile and the caption, "Hey guys, has anyone seen Tristyn? This was posted just hours after Tristyn was last seen alive. As the investigation progressed, the evidence against Fucci mounted. Surveillance footage, witness statements, and forensic evidence all pointed to his involvement. Around midnight, May 10th, police went to Fucci's house to look for evidence. In his room, they found a sheath that matched the knife found near Bailey's body and clothing with blood on it. Around 3 a.m., Fucci was arrested for second-degree murder. During a press conference on May 27th, the state attorney said Fucci told his friends he was going to kill someone by taking them to the woods and stabbing them. Fucci told his friends to expect the murder to happen within a month, and that Bailey was stabbed 114 times. Fucci was subsequently transferred to Duval County Jail, where he was held without bond. His mother, Crystal Smith, was arrested for tampering with evidence after allegedly washing blood off Fucci's jeans, but was later released. A police report released by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office in July 2021 revealed that Fucci often spoke of his fantasy of killing people, that he often carried a knife with him, and that he planned to drag a random person into the woods and stab them. Fucci's ex-girlfriend said that on occasion, Fucci would take his knife out and pretend to stab her with it. Bauman also said that Fucci claimed to hear voices in his head when he was angry. In the investigation into Tristyn Bailey's murder, one critical piece of evidence stood out: the knife used in the crime. This seemingly ordinary object was pivotal in unraveling the events leading up to her tragic death. When law enforcement recovered the knife, it was clear that it played a central role in the brutal attack. The knife was found in a retention pond next to where the murder occurred. The knife was identified as the murder weapon because the missing tip of the blade was found by the medical examiner during an autopsy, lodged in Bailey's scalp. According to investigative reports, Fucci's girlfriend previously told an investigator that he had two knives, nicknamed Picker and Poker, and that on one occasion he put a knife to her throat and pretended to slit it. Less than a month before the murder, she said Fucci told her he was going to find someone walking at night, drag them into the woods, and stab them. Fucci was accused of slaying his 13-year-old classmate Bailey by stabbing her 114 times last May. He was 14 at the time and charged as an adult with first-degree murder and faced life in prison. Shortly before jury selection was set to begin, on February 6, 2023, Fucci changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. He wrote a letter apologizing for the pain he caused Bailey's family and friends. However, witnesses and evidence pointed to a premeditated act of violence. In a chilling twist, Fucci's social media posts revealed his disturbing fascination with violence. One such post showed him posing with a "kill 'em all" gesture, a stark foreshadowing of the horrors to come. During the trial, Fucci's defense team argued that he was not fully aware of his actions due to his age and mental state. However, the prosecution presented a strong case, focusing on the brutality of the crime and Fucci's behavior before and after the murder. Judge R. Lee Smith called this the most difficult and shocking case that he had presided over, adding, "This was not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation, retribution, or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable anger. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy this defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to kill someone." During the impact statements at the trial, one of Tristyn's siblings, Alexis, dropped 114 aquastone hearts into a glass jar, one by one, to represent the stab wounds her sister endured. The jar stayed there for each family member while they read their statements. Each concluded by adding a white stone to represent something related to Bailey's death. Fucci was charged as an adult and pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Bailey. He was given a maximum sentence of life in prison on March 24, 2023, at age 16. After 25 years incarceration, his case will be reviewed. The impact of this crime rippled through the community. Tristyn Bailey was remembered as a kind-hearted, energetic young girl whose life was tragically cut short. Memorials and tributes poured in from friends, family, and neighbors, each one reflecting the profound loss felt by those who knew her. In the wake of this tragedy, while the community's reaction was one of profound grief and outrage, the community came together to support Bailey's family and to seek justice for the young girl whose future was stolen. Tributes poured in from across the nation, honoring Tristyn's memory and calling for justice. The case served as a stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind seemingly innocent interactions and the importance of vigilance and trust. As we reflect on the events surrounding Tristyn Bailey's death, we are reminded of the fragility of life and the profound impact that such tragedies can have on our communities. The story of Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey is one of trust betrayed, a life lost, and a community forever changed. By a Depraved Heart. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth look at a heartbreaking story. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this case. What do you think about the trial and the sentencing? Do you believe the justice system handled it appropriately? Drop your comments below. And if you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more in-depth analyses of important cases. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're always updated with our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more stories that matter. Stay safe and take care.